Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for being here for this meeting with the Town Board of the Town of Carmel. Before we get started, we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Would everybody please rise? And Councilman Schneider, would you lead us?
Give my honor.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And if you please remain standing for a moment of silence and reflect upon the sacrifices that our men and women are making overseas. Thank you.
Thanks, Jonathan. Okay, once again, thank you for being here, and thank you all at home for watching this meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel. Today's date is Wednesday, September 28th, 2016, and tonight's meeting is a Town Board work session. And for the record, all board members are present with the exception of Councilwoman McDonough, who is not feeling well this evening, and Councilman Lombardi is at an event with his company tonight that he couldn't reschedule. With us, we have Greg Falchetti all the way down to my left as the town council. In the audience is Chief Mike Kazari, James Gilchrist, the Parks and Recreation Director, and Mary Ann Maxwell, the town controller. So the first item on the agenda this evening is a review of the town board minutes of September 7th and September 21st, 2016. Unless any board members would like to comment on those minutes, we'll move on to number one. Number one on the agenda, Police Chief Mike Kazari. This is to consider request to purchase ammunition. Chief? Take it away.
Is it on? Yep.
Yeah,
No?
it's on.
All right, good.
Yeah. Is the button up?
Like we do every year, we'd like to do the requisition now for the ammunition because it's going to take 5-6 months for it to come in. Again, we don't pay anything until the entire order is here. The price has not increased in 4 years. The bid price has remained the same. And like I was saying to Councilman Lupinacci, we took 2 cases off because of reduction in our ERT element. So it's 16,842.82 is what I'm looking to budget for next year, and permission please to do the requisition now.
It's changing. 16,842.82.
I think that's what it is.
$20 off? Or is it the 16,864.82 is what we have on here?
That's the one.
Okay, that's the one. All right.
That's what I heard.
Okay.
That's what I said.
You heard that? Really?
Let's play the tape back. Dominic?
Okay. All right, we do this, I believe we've been doing this past several years,
Yeah,
about the same time of year.
because it takes a while to get the ammunition in.
Get it delivered and have it on site. Okay. Any questions or comments regarding the chief's request to purchase the ammunition for the PD? John, good? Jonathan? Okay. That's it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Stick around, though, right? You're going to meet with us also at the end of the meeting, or no? Oh, he's going to handle that? Okay. All right. Thanks, Chief.
Preferred.
All right, number 2 and 3 on the agenda, Mary Ann Maxwell, Town Controller. Yeah, I know, we're adding. Mary Ann Maxwell, Town Controller, and Michelle Tenafrancia, also the Senior Account Clerk in the Comptroller's Office, is here tonight to present the 2 items that Mary Ann has on the agenda. The first one is to consider budget revisions for July and August of 2016. Mary Ann?
Good evening. These are the budget revisions for July and August of 2016. I'm sorry, I'm in the 2017 mode here, working on the budget, but going back to July and August of 2016, in the general fund, number 2, we're providing for a retirement payout of accrued time in the police department for $78,410. Number 3 in the general fund, we're providing for a purchase of equipment from seized assets, also in the police department. That's $2,238. Number 4 in the general fund, we're transferring for retiree health insurance costs. The larger one in here is $15,000 being transferred into the police retiree health insurance line because there were 2 new retirees in 16. So we had to move some money around to cover the costs in that line. Number 7 in the general fund, we're transferring for general fund highway staff pay adjustments from the recently signed contract. $8,642 is being transferred into the staff line for central garage, sign control, and the recycling staff line. We're also transferring $50 for an increase in uniform pay in those lines. The balance is coming from a compensation reserve line that we have set up, that we've been accruing these salary adjustments. Number 8, we're also transferring for the general fund highway staff FICA and Medicare adjustments. A total of $6,250 is being transferred into these lines to cover the increase in the benefits. Number 10, in the general fund, we're transferring for miscellaneous recreation expenses in various lines in that department. In the highway fund, on page 2, number 12, we're also providing and transferring for highway staff pay adjustments from signed contracts. The total of $230,000 is being transferred from a compensation reserve line that I had set up. $33,940 is also coming from new health insurance employee contributions. So the total of those two is going to be providing for the staff adjustments in the highway fund. Number 13, we're also transferring for FICA and Medicare adjustments in the highway fund due to the signed contract. An increase of $30,000 is being transferred to cover the FICA and Medicare expense in those lines. Also on page 2, Carmel Fire Protection District number 2, we're transferring for quarterly financial reviews that are being done with the Mayapack Volunteer Fire Department. We're transferring $14,500 from other lines in that fund, in that district. In the Lake Cassie, Lake Mayapack, and Tea Kettle Park districts, we're transferring for various expenses, newsletters, and other government expenses. The last one on this page, with Carmel Water and Sewer Districts, we're providing for repairs due to the brownout in May. We received insurance checks totaling a little over $8,000 to cover those costs. On page 3, we're transferring for a turbine pump at Carmel Water District number 8. That is also being spread through Carmel Water District 1, 10, and 13. The total is $34,000. The funds are coming from the repair reserve funds in those districts. Carmel Water District number 3, we're transferring for purchase of water due to the brownout and other miscellaneous expenses. In Carmel Water District number 4, 6, and 9, we're transferring for emergency repairs. In number 6, it's coming from an insurance claim. In Carmel Sewer District number 5, we're transferring $18,000 to cover the cost of a Phoenix, a sampling cost, monthly sampling cost from Phoenix Lab. This is a sewer district that is undergoing, I think it was I think Rich is going to be talking about that later, but I think there's an issue with that. In Carmel Sewer District number 7, we're transferring for engineering services related to the roof replacement, and that's a total of $17,000.
Okay,
Okay,
Mary
any
Ann,
question?
top of page 3,
Yes?
number 19,
Okay.
Carmel Water Districts. Which water district is that?
Water districts 1, 8, 10, and 13.
1, 8, 10, and 13? Okay, and,
Yeah, it's to purchase the pump.
yeah, and I was just gonna, it could be a typo, but it's a turbine pump, Turbine.
I thought so, yeah.
Yeah, it's just an
turbine,
R
okay.
missing, yeah.
Okay.
So it's a turbine pump.
Not my expertise.
Now, yeah,
Sorry.
didn't think you had
Okay.
much background in
Yeah.
turbine pumps.
That's when when I said turbine, I'm like, wait a minute.
Turbine.
I did say turbine, I'm like, it didn't sound right, but.
Yeah,
Thought it was engineering.
I thought, yeah,
Where's Rich?
yeah. Well, Rich probably gave you that information, right?
Yeah, he would have corrected me.
Yeah.
He's not here, let's blame him.
All right, that's the only thing I had. Board-
Numbers are right.
Yeah, the numbers are right.
Numbers are right, yes.
correct.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
who cares what the name of the pump is to correct me?
turbine.
but- Any questions or comments for Mary Ann on the budget transfers? No? There being none, you want to go on to number 3 now, Mary Ann?
Yes.
The LoSAP.
Yes, the LoSAP. Back in July, the town board authorized the Controller's Office to send out a request for proposal for the length of service award programs, the investment services for the length of service award programs for Carmel Fire Protection Districts number 1, which is Mayapack Falls, and number 2, which is Mayapack. We did receive 7 proposals, which I was very pleased with. That's what these are here. I met with, Councilman Schneider and I met, and I also reviewed these with PenFlex, with Tony Hill from PenFlex in great detail. I prepared this spreadsheet that is attached. And most of the firms came back with a 50% basis points, except for one, which was much higher. That was Manning and Napier. The prices are, in total, are pretty much similar. We currently have our investment services with RBC Wealth Management, with Carmel Fire Protection Districts number 1, 2, and 3. And we have our investment services with Glens Falls National Bank for Carmel Ambulance. If you look at page 3, I did a 3-year, a 5-year, and a 10-year rates of return comparison. And Glens Falls has done exceptionally well with the LoSAP program, with Carmel Ambulance program. So based on that, I am recommending that we go with Glens Falls. They, as of 12/31/2015, the rate of the, they are 106% funded. The Carmel Ambulance LoSAP program is 106% funded, whereas the Mayapack Falls, Mayapack, and Carmel, I believe, I think they were around 70, or even around 70, maybe 80% tops funded. So based on that analysis, and this analysis, and discussions with Councilman Schneider and Tony Hill, I am recommending that we move to Glens Falls National Bank. The state also handles, Glens Falls also handles the state's investment. So based on that as well. That's my recommendation.
Who's Carmel Ambulance using now? Are they still using?
They use Glens Falls, yeah.
Glens Falls
Yes,
National?
yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right, and Carmel Fire District is going to be,
Carmel Fire District, I did forward the proposals to Bob Behan, and he was going to be forwarding them to Frank Simeone to, I did tell him what we were going to be recommending, and, they haven't gotten back to me, but I'm pretty sure that they would go with the same, so.
okay. All right.
Okay, Jonathan, you have anything to
Jonathan,
add, or?
You did some work on this with Mary Ann, right? Do you have any?
Yeah, no, Mary Ann did a really good job. I've dealt with a couple companies that work with the LoSAP program, PenFlex being one, VFIS being another. I believe a couple recommended going with the VFIS, a couple said stay with PenFlex, but when you see the communication that occurs between Mary Ann and the PenFlex administrators, they did a really thorough job of going through all the proposals, making comparisons, helping to not only tell us about not specifically the fire departments, fire districts that are using them presently, but they told us numbers. Glens Falls, I believe, has more than anyone by far,
Right.
as far as anyone who's working with PenFlex. They have good relationship between the two of them, and a good relationship that Mary Ann has with PenFlex. To me, when you take that into account, and then you see the rates of return, we even went back to our present provider to see, because they were giving us rates of return based on our old investment policy.
Right.
And one of the things that was in this was to get recommendations on new investment policy. So after we looked at that, when we saw the first numbers come back on the 3, 5, and 10, we realized that we were looking at different numbers. So we want to make sure we're comparing apples to apples. When we got the revised numbers back on what they proposed, what Glen Falls has was still beating rates of return by
still beating, right.
50% on the
Yeah.
3, 5, and 10 year for actuals, not hypotheticals. So it was tough to put an argument other than if Mary Ann didn't want to do any work, but Mary Ann has never been like that, so she's looking to do what's right for the town, and I definitely agree. It'll be a bit more work for her this year on the.
Yeah, I mean, the transition, I mean, it would have been easier to stay with
Sure.
RBC, you know, and take the chance of them improving on their returns, but,
I think it's
I just
really
think
difficult to
the-
argue with
yeah.
the amount of people who are presently using them and with the rates of return that they're having for the
Exactly.
policies that everyone else is using that's invested in for PenFlex. It looks like it should get us back to where we should be. If I remember 5 years ago, we were at 100%
We were.
investing and
We were, and
And
we
it
were,
just
we
dropped
were going
substantially,
up, we were
like-
getting better, and then it's just the
we
past
never
couple of
missed,
years.
and I know we never reduced the amount that we were funding with.
No, we always
Which other fire
funded more
districts
than
I've
what
seen
they, yeah, like more than the minimum.
Yeah, so it was, it's definitely good that we revisited the investment policy. Mary
Yeah.
Ann was thorough on this. To get back 7 bids is great, and, I mean, I'm definitely comfortable with the decision, and I think, like Mary Ann, even though it's gonna be more work, it's definitely the right thing to do for the first responders that are gonna be in the LoSAP plan. So,
Right,
thanks for, again, doing
Sure.
more and more work.
yep,
We appreciate it.
Okay,
thank you.
good job, guys. Thanks, Jonathan. Mary Ann, thank you.
Yeah,
Did a lot of
thank
work
you,
on
yeah.
this. Thanks a lot. All right, good. John, you have any further questions for Mary Ann? No?
No, thank you.
Okay,
And Michelle.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
okay. So I will reach out to Carmel Fire as well and see, what
Yeah.
they're, you know.
Yeah. Bob was in today. Did you see him at all? Bob Behan?
I did not, no.
He did stop by.
You
but-
did stop by?
Yeah, he
Okay.
stopped in my office to give me some information about something, but I
Okay.
didn't know if he went upstairs to look for you or not.
I didn't see
Speak
him,
with you,
so-
but,
Okay.
yeah, so you want to try to reach out to him?
I will,
All right?
yep.
All right, Mary Ann, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Michelle, thanks.
Take
All
care.
right, have a good night. All right. Next item on the agenda, number 4, Jimmy Gilchrist, consider renewal lease agreement with the Mahopac Central School District for the use of recreational facilities. Jim?
All right, thanks, Ken. Yeah, we've worked on this, we had a 5-year agreement that ran out about 2 years ago, and we had a 1-year extension that came after that. So for the last year, year and a half, Councilwoman McDonough, Councilman Lupinacci, Bob Buckley, and myself have worked with the school administration to try to bring all of our agreements together into one and really we had a lot of requests. We were going back and forth, and I think this is an excellent agreement that we have together. It's a 5-year contract or agreement. The price stays the same for the 5 years. Previous contract we had, it would go up about $5,000 a year. We were able to add the lakefront property that the school district owns on Lake Mayapack. That's an interesting piece where we're going to have to go in front of the school board to any kind of programs that we're proposing on that parcel. We would have to get approval from the school district. So we're going to try to reach out to the community and see what people are interested in. Obviously, some boating, maybe sailing or something along those lines, and some other aquatic activities. But that'll be a program activity on that site. It won't just be an open site. It would be open and closed there. Other things that were added to this agreement were areas where the Mayapack School District uses our town parks. That was something that we've worked with the school district over the last number of years, but now we have this in the agreement. They use a chamber park for events during the spring and early summer. Sycamore Park, they have their class outings at the end of each year. Baldo Meadows, they use periodically. The airport, Sycamore Park ball fields, and also McDonough ball fields. So that was also brought into this. And a lot of the other areas are pretty much the same that we had in the previous contract. You'll see in here where we have the fire departments have rights to use the rink and the waterfront parcel at different times through the year, and also with the temple down next to the rink there. So the school board has, based on our comments back and forth, they've approved this agreement. That was done by Dr. Mahoney back in September 13th. Now it would go in front of the town board for you guys to approve it, and this would be retroactive to July 1st of this year. So do you guys have any questions on this at all?
Jonathan, any questions regarding the school district contract? For the use of town facilities agreement between,
And it's flat 90 for each year for
Yeah.
the 5-year period.
Yep.
yeah, I think it's a good agreement. I think it covers everything. You know, and the fact that they're gonna hold the fee for
Yep.
5 years is good too. No increases, and I think it's a good partnership and agreement between the town and the school district for use of what we sorely need is facilities,
Yes.
you know, for our youth in the community to participate in various programs and things like that, so I'm good with it.
Good.
John's good with it, and Jonathan, you too. And I believe the other two board members are too. Frank and Susie would be in agreement, I believe, also
Good, okay.
with this, so we'll move forward. Yeah, Susie, yeah, I want to thank John and Susie, yourself. I think Bob Buckley was involved too.
Well, John did a tremendous amount of
Recreation
work.
Committee.
I mean, John had the most comments out of all of us, so I'll give you the credit for that.
Well,
Which it helped out going back and forth with the school. So
Thank you.
we had a lot of early morning meetings over
I
the
mean, wouldn't
administration.
expect anything less from Councilman Lupinacci. Dots his i's and crosses his t's multiple times, which is good.
A lot of bubbles on the
A
sidelines.
lot of those bubbles. All right,
All right.
so we'll have a resolution on for the 5th, Greg?
Absolutely.
Authorizing me to sign the agreement?
Did you have it? But
Yep.
yes.
Oh, we do have it already?
Are we meeting tomorrow?
Oh, yeah, okay,
Yep, been done.
all right, awesome. All right,
All right, great.
thanks, Jim.
All right, thank
I
you.
appreciate it, yeah. Okay, next is, actually, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are Rich Franzetti, the remainder items on the agenda. So 5 is to consider accepting proposal for infiltration, inflow, construction, engineering services for Carmel Sewers District Number 1 and 3. Rich?
So as the board is aware, the New York City DEP-owned wastewater treatment plant right here in Mahopac experienced excessive flows mid-March through April of this year. The flows were attributed to infiltration and inflow in the town-owned collection system in the hamlet of Carmel. On September 13, 2016, the town received bids for the construction of the subject work, and the project will require construction oversight. Am I doing the right one? This is the right one, right?
Yep, you're doing the right one.
Construction
Yep,
services,
yep.
right? In accordance with the terms of the consulting contract, John Robert Fossetti Associates has provided the attached capital cost contract, and the town controller has been consulted and confirms that the bonded amount for the project is adequate to cover the expenses for construction engineering, and this department recommends the approval of this proposal.
Okay. All right. Board members have any questions or comments regarding this item? This is for the I&I flow work for Carmel Sewer District 1 and 3. This is relative to the New York City DP and the DEC consent order.
Right.
And this is for the construction management cost, engineering cost for the project and the oversight of the construction itself, so. Question, Jonathan, anything on this? Okay, all right. Rich, next item, number 6, is to consider accepting a proposal for the upgrade development plan for the wastewater treatment plant for Carmel Sewer District Number 5.
So on November 16, 2015, the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation issued a notice of violation to the town. The NOV cited failure to meet both concentration-based and load-based ammonia limits at the wastewater treatment facility. As a matter of background, the board may recall that in 2009, the DEC issued an unsolicited modification to the permit. Based on that, they identified that ammonia was now, which was not controlled prior, is now going to be a controlled parameter or controlled, controlled at the wastewater treatment plant effluent. So the original plant had not been designed, though, to treat for ammonia, and failure to meet those permit limitations constitutes a violation of the Speedies permit. That failure occurred in the summer of 2015, and New York State DEC issued an NOV in November. As you may recall, Mr. Supervisor, the Town Engineering Department and you attended a meeting with the DEC on January 14th of 2016 and determined a compliance schedule for report design and construction of an appropriate upgrade to allow the plant to meet the modified permit limit. We provided a summary and proposed compliance schedule to the state, and they agreed that a full season, February through October of 16, of sampling to provide detailed information about the existing treatment processes will help in the determination of that design. The sampling season will be completed at the end of October, and in order to comply with the proposed schedule, it is important that the work commence on a report now. Attached, you will find John Robert Fossetti Associates, Proposal for the development of a facility plan. The town controller has been consulted and confirms that the repair reserve fund balances are adequate to cover the expense for this facility plan. And we recommend the proposal be awarded to John Robert Forsetti Associates. So in essence, we promised the New York State DEC a report, and this is the report that needs to be generated. What will come out of this is overall a design, so we can upgrade the treatment plant.
Okay. All right, this work has to be done. It's, you know, again, it's a New York State DEC,
It's an NOV by the state.
NOV, that was issued, and we're responding to it. And in order to comply with the terms of the NOV, the system needs to be upgraded. Modifications have to be made to it, and, you know, we have no choice. This is something that we have
The
to,
facility study first,
yeah.
in order to be able to assess it, correct?
What's that, Greg? I'm sorry.
Facility study first?
Right, typically, the way wastewater treatment plants are upgraded are that you study the system first, you make your assessments, and then you can design accordingly.
Okay, and this Carmel Sewer District 5, just for the benefit of the board and the public, if you're not aware, this is down off of Carey Street.
Correct.
It's off of 6N down by the Carpenter Trailer Park, so it's really Carey Street, I believe. I'm not sure if it services Friendly Road or not, which is on the opposite side.
It does not service Friendly
it
Road. It's
doesn't,
just
so-
Cary, it's just that area there.
Okay, that loop, the Carey Street loop.
Correct.
And there's a couple of side streets as well, so, okay. All right, you're familiar with where that is, right, Jonathan? Okay. All right, any further questions from the engineer regarding the Carmel Sewer District 5 notice of violation and the upgrade engineering report? No, okay, there being none, let's go on to the next one. Rich, is number 7. This is to consider accepting a proposal for the coupon, hope I'm saying that right, collection and valve addition for Carmel Water District Number 2.
So as the board has been aware, there have been, recently there have been complaints in Carmel Water District 2 along Glenview Drive regarding brown water. These complaints are from area in the district which most likely have water supply pipes made of unlined iron. Brown water is not totally uncommon, especially for iron water pipes, which gives off that brown tint, particularly in the summer months or in areas where water flow is less than average. These complaints are typically resolved when the town flushes the hydrants in the complainant's area. This is because the sitting and standing water in the water main, which causes the settling in the iron pipe, is discharged. The town's water system operator, Severn Trent Environmental Services, has been actively flushing the system in this area. And while this approach has been effective, it does not address the pipe material. And therefore, in order to confirm the pipe material in this area, this department will need to take a pipe sample, i.e. coupon, collected and has directed STES to obtain costs for the work. STS requested and received quotes for both a 6-inch and 8-inch line for, we don't know the size of the pipe in that area. Our drawings have conflicting information. And the prices range from $5,802 to $9,400. To $6,198 for Jack Farrelly and Company, or $9,400 and $10,800 for Legacy Valve. The costs include the collection of the coupon and the installation of a valve in the area, and do not include the excavation and restoration work in the area. This cost has been estimated to be about approximately $3,000. Based on the finding of the pipe sample, the engineering department will determine the next appropriate step to address the issues and provide the town board with this information. These solutions may include changing the corrosion control used in the system, lining the ductile iron pipes with concrete, or replacing the lines. There are sufficient funds in the budget to cover this installation, and therefore we recommend the approval of the coupon in this, collection of the coupon in this area.
All right, Rich, I just have one question regarding this. In the memo, it states that these costs include the collection of a coupon and the installation of a valve in the area, and do not include the excavation and restoration of the work area. The excavation and restoration will be performed by a separate contractor, and the cost is estimated to be $3,000. Is that separate contractor Cook Excavating?
We don't know who that will be, but it could be, yes.
Okay.
Most likely it would be, because they're familiar with the area.
All right, so in addition to the costs that are outlined here,
It would be
there'll
another
be additional
$3,000.
$3,000 cost on top of
Correct.
that?
Correct, but the $3,000 was only brought up so the board knows that this is the total cost of the project. The $3,000 is under the $5,000 threshold, so we didn't have to bring that to the board, but I just wanted the board to know what the total cost for this collection would be. So yes, you have to add $3,000 to that price.
Okay.
So this is literally just cutting out pipe for a sample, putting a valve in its place, and then we figure it out from there.
Yes.
Okay.
We did this, Jonathan, on Water 8.
Right.
When we replaced the 13,000 linear feet of the 8-inch pipe
This is how it all starts.
with coupons.
So we should stand by.
Yes.
All right.
You're exactly right.
Let's go.
Yeah, so when they pull that coupon out, they're gonna look and see if the, you know, what type of pipe it is, number one.
Right.
If it's ductile iron, they're gonna look to see if it's, you know, what the inside of it looks like. So you're right. This is the start of it, so.
Extreme couponing.
When we collect it, I can bring it to the board, or I can show it to you. If you come to the office, we'll have it there.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Just shoot out an email and you guys get it. That'd be
I'll
pretty
take,
neat.
we can take some photographs of it and send it right out to you.
Perfect.
Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, Rich, why don't you go on to number 9, right? Or are we on 8? I'm sorry, 8. Consider awarding bid for Carmel Sewer Districts number 1 and 3 infiltration and inflow remediation services.
So on September 13th, at 11 a.m., bids were opened by the town clerk for the above project, which is the Carmel Sewer District, Sewer District 1 and 3 I&I remediation. The scope of work includes the television inspection and lining of sewers in the hamlet of Mahopac that are tributary to the New York City DEP-owned wastewater treatment plant. The Office of John Robert Falchetti Associates completed the attached bid evaluation and recommends to award. Based on the evaluation, the bid amounts, experience of the bidder, and the project references, it's recommended that the contract be awarded to Green Mountain Pipeline Services as the lowest responsible bidder for the project. The price for that would be $993,993. Just so the board is aware, that is in the backup. The number 2 bid was $999,123, so there was a difference of about,
Less than 1%.
$6,000, $5,000, give or take, difference in bid prices. So that's a good sign. It was a very close bid. Bad for the second place person, but
Yeah. All right, so the Carmel Sewer District number 1 collection system that we're speaking about is, I know you mentioned the Mahopac Hamlet. It's the business district, right, down on 6N. And also 3.
and
3 is,
Sewer District 3, which is up
right
here
up
on
here.
McAlpin, right?
yeah. So again, this work has to be done. These are very old New York City sewer collection system pipes that they just, over time, they age and they crack and they leak, and water is getting into the New York City wastewater treatment plant, which is right next door here, and that triggered an NOV from the, or a consent order from the New York State DEC. In order for that to be addressed, we have to go ahead and do all this analysis and review and inspections of the pipes, and it was determined that there is water inflow getting into the system, which is creating the higher volume of numbers that are being run through that plant. Hopefully I explained it correctly, Rich. I think I did.
Nail on the head.
I had? Okay. Any questions, John or Jonathan, regarding this work? This has been something that's been ongoing now for a while, and we're finally to the point now to award the bid to a contractor who's going to actually undertake the work. So, all right, Rich, why don't you go on to the final item tonight? This is to consider accepting a proposal from the New York Power Authority for an energy survey/power audit.
So on August 17th of this year, Councilman Schneider and I met with representatives from the New York Power Authority to discuss energy-saving opportunities for the town of Carmel. NYPA is provided the attached proposal to conduct an energy survey audit, a level 2 audit as defined by the American Society of Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning Engineers, or ASHRAE. The intent of the audit is to identify and provide savings and cost analyses of all practical energy-efficient measures that meet town constraints and economic criteria. The audit will contain a listing of potential capital-intensive improvements that require more thorough data collection and engineering analysis and associated cost savings. The audit is going to cost $5,239.50. This department talked with the town controller, who indicated there are sufficient funds for the work, and we recommend that this audit be performed.
Okay. All right, yeah, I'm in agreement. I think it's great that we're going to have the audit done, and, you know, the report will reflect the upgrades and enhancements and improvements that we need to do to the lighting, the lights in this building. They're very old. They're as old as the building, obviously, and I think the building's, what, 35 years old? It was built in 75, actually.
76, 75, 76?
45, yeah.
It's
Yeah, so,
This is actually for a bit more than just that. This is a full audit of the building, so it's going to include the mechanicals, it's going to include the windows. And as we were in the meeting, it was ironic because our engineer was saying how they had just been looking at some prices on windows and on HVAC systems. So it's, one of the better things about this audit is that it's kind of the first step in the process. If we are going to do any improvements on our infrastructure, on our windows, or on an HVAC system, or lights, which probably come up, they have very nice interest rates on grants that on cash flow projections are budget positive first year. So it could be a really big win-win situation for us where we may invest some, but our investment is going to be at a low interest rate over whatever the timeline is for the project. But it's not only going to be that, I believe that it's also going to be a quick reference to our 12 or 13 lighting districts where they're going to take a look at our bills and see what's out there. Is that right?
That's not with this audit, that's a separate one
That one's
completely.
separate,
Correct.
okay.
That is another discussion that's gonna be had with them, a second proposal that they would come up with.
Yeah. So we're trying to find.
Will they be going over to the highway and looking at that?
No, this one is just for this facility presently, but just town hall. The premise was, this right now is the most used, and if we could see anything that's going to be cash flow positive for us, especially on the first year, at that point, then we can expand to the other facilities, including Sycamore, Highway. But it's definitely something that we are interested in looking at. And I believe the other thing on this is that presently NYSERDA offers money back to municipalities that are investing just in the audits. So that's something that we'll look at getting some reimbursed funds for as well to reduce the cost. Even though in reality, $5,200 for a building this size doesn't seem too bad for the age. We should hopefully see a really good return on that investment.
Yeah.
But it's, again, just kind of the first step in getting the wheels rolling.
so they're going to do an analysis or a review of the windows in this building also, right?
Yes, windows, HVAC, they're gonna take a look at where we're basically losing, whether it be insulation, or it be the windows, or it be mechanical, or it be lighting. And then they'll come back with reports that only engineers can probably understand, and then they'll show some numbers that, you know, the rest of us can understand, hopefully.
Yeah, yeah, because we've been looking to upgrade these windows, throughout the entire town hall, because they're single pane glass.
Right.
And I'm sure there's a lot of energy that's lost out of these, because of these windows. You know, so that's something, if that is reflected in their report, and there's funding available through grant funding, you know, at let's say, either grants or financing it at a lower
There's
interest
definitely
rate.
financing available through NIPA. The other thing is we can work with our grant writer that we contracted with this year, because anything that's involving energy efficiency, I believe, is one of the top three. It's like infrastructure, water, and then I believe energy efficiency is a big thing that they're looking at. So hopefully, we'll be able to get some nice
Yeah.
improvements here, and then we can see it carry forward to other places in town, especially if it starts getting to our lighting districts and we get some LED lights in places where
Yeah.
we could actually see the roads instead of just glares hitting off of sidelines. And
Yeah. What's the turnaround time for the report once we authorize it? Did they say?
You know what, I don't know off the top of my head, I can get back to you on that.
All right, it's not that important, it's just, it's definitely something we should move forward with, for sure. All right, Greg, you'll have a resolution then for the 5th?
I will.
Okay. All right, good. Jonathan, thanks, I know you were involved in this also, and.
this
you
one's
did some of
Rich. This is engineer talk.
the- Okay, all right. Thanks, Rich.
No
All
problem.
right, so that's it, that completes the agenda items for this evening's town board work session. I'm going to open up the floor now to any public comment on any of the items that we covered this evening. Mike, did you have your hand up? No, okay, all right. We're going to move on to the open forum portion of the meeting, new business. Is there anyone here that wants to discuss new business? Mike?
Hi, good evening, Mike Borelli. Couple of quick questions. I just noticed this week's headline in the Mayapack News about our 4th police officer that was hired and sworn in. I've been away for a couple of weeks, so I missed it. But I was just curious, since we've hired 4 police officers, since the police department thought we were going to disband them, have we signed a contract? Have they signed any kind of contract yet? Have we resolved the police contract since we have so many new police officers?
We have not, It is still up in the air. We had a meeting last week, and we're going to have a meeting next week, but there is no contract.
There's no contract, and we have 4 new police officers. Unbelievable, truly unbelievable. Also, when I was away, you had the planning board bring you, I was kind of confused by it, on a multifamily absence in our zoning, mixed use of some sort, or accessory apartment. I didn't understand what it was. Could you just tell me what in the zoning code you were trying to correct or add in?
Yeah, Greg, you want to take this?
Right now in the zoning code, there's a section that is just residential multifamily. It's 15628. And it has the criteria for the approval and submission of a multifamily project based on a minimum projects, a minimum lot size, density, units per acre, and the like. What happened is during the course of the many revisions to the zoning code over the years, is actually multifamily has been removed from the district, scheduled district regulations.
I'm familiar.
So you have this multifamily section in here, and then if somebody wants to do it, they would actually need a use variance, because although the criteria set forth for the approval, there's actually no permitted use.
I just find it kind of ironic at this stage of Mayapac's growth, Town of Carmel's growth, where actually would you be able to position multifamily housing? And is this change or addition possibly benefiting 1 or 2 parcels of property in the town? Because there is not much property left to build the projects like this. So I find it strange and a little worrisome that I think this might be directed at certain pieces of property that are out there. And I just will tell you, I'm going to keep a real close eye on this one, because something smells on this. And that's from experience of 40 years in real estate in this community. Now, I want to leave with one good idea. Do you want to hear it? Okay. Nobody comes to these meetings. Nobody. So I have a great idea for you. It's obvious, since there are so many sandwich signs everywhere, that everybody must be doing great business. So why don't we get a couple sandwich signs, and every Wednesday night we bring them out on Route 6 and say, town board meeting tonight, come on in. And if that doesn't work, these plastic signs that are all over the place, I mean, business must be great because the signs are all over. So we'll put a couple on corners. We could actually go on all the corners where Senator Murphy has all his signs and put them right next to him, because he has to have 1,000 signs around Mayapack right now. I thought we had a law about it, but I don't remember. So those are 3 good ideas. If not, we can get those 10-foot flags, all right, and stick them by Town Hall, by the firehouse, and put up, Wednesday night, come to Town Hall. That might work. I'll pay for all of this stuff if you want, out of my pocket, so it's no cost to the taxpayers. All right, now if that doesn't work, the best idea I have, which really set me off tonight, the people that wanted these banners over Route 6, that finally realized that the town was spending a lot of money to do it, taxpayer money and time, are not doing it themselves anymore. We had a big scene, we want banners. Well, you know what? They found out what it is to put a banner up. So now, we put the banners up next to the 9/11 memorial, the best piece of architecture we have in this town. On either side, taken away from it. When there's a fence across the street that nobody uses. And then they leave them up 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks after the event. But beating all of that, tonight, coming here tonight, I saw an estate sale sign right in front of the memorial. Right in front. So I figured, you know what? Save the money on all of this, because coming here tonight, I realized if we just put a sign in front of the 9/11 memorial, under the American flag, with the lights on it, that says, open house, town hall tonight, town meeting, everybody come. It might work. So you could all stay there and look at me and smile, or you could continue to sit there with your hands under your butts, because I think we have a beautiful town. And I think it looks like crap now because no one's enforcing the law. They are enforcing the law. This is all fairness to the building department. They can't keep up. And you're putting Dennis's life in danger running around picking up I mean, come on. Senator Murphy, what is he going to follow Greg Ball? Does he know the law? We have to take off Senator Murphy's signs? I mean, enough's enough. Come on. When you go home tonight, look at the Bellissimo family donated that to the town. And when you're going to allow, because you are the guys that are doing it, are going to allow the signage all around it, it's just disgraceful. We have one of the prettiest towns, and it can be made so much prettier. Can't do it without any help from you. I go back to Mr. Lombardi and the rest of the board back then that dismantled the Route 6 Compliance Committee. Bottom line. So when everybody goes home tonight, look at the sign on it. And then we'll go to the estate sale. You'll find 100 people there because nobody comes to town hall. Have a good night, gentlemen.
Thanks, Mike. Okay. All right, we do have some notice of vacancy, some announcements that we have to make. This is regarding notices of vacancy. The town board of the town of Carmel is looking for all interested and qualified persons to fill vacancies on the Environmental Conservation Board. There's 1 vacancy. Board of Assessment Review, 1 vacancy. Alarm Review Board, 1 vacancy. Please submit a letter of interest and resume to the supervisor's office by October 7th, 2016. Supervisor Ken Schmidt, Carmel Town Hall, McAlpin Avenue, Mahopac. You can email AMP2, that's Adam Mary Paul 2, at ci.carmel.ny.us. For additional information, please check our website at www.carmelny.org by order of the town board of the town of Carmel.
Vacancies
What's
on the
that?
Board of Assessment.
Oh, 2 on the Board of Assessment Review? Okay, I'm sorry, there's 2 vacancies on the Board of Assessment Review. 2 vacancies, 1 on the ECB, Environmental Conservation Board. For those of you who are interested in the environment, we have an opening on our ECB board. It's a 7-member board. Currently, we have 6. We need 1 more. The Alarm Review Board, it's a 3-member board. Currently, there's 2, so we need an additional alarm reviewer. These are for the chronic alarms that are reviewed by this board. Board of Assessment Review, there is 2 vacancies, and the Board of Assessment Review reviews grievances that are filed regarding your assessments of property of residential homes, and that takes place every year in May. So we need 2 people for the Board of Assessment Review to review those grievances that are filed by the property owners. Okay, next announcement, attention water district customers, water meter readings are due no later than 2 days. 2 days, September 30th. So if you're watching this meeting tonight and you live in a water district, you have to read your meter and provide that reading to the comptroller's office by Friday. Readings can be entered through the town's website, www.carmelny.org, mailed via water meter read postcard, or called into the comptroller's office at 845-628-1500. It's extremely important that you supply us with your reading so that our billing is based upon your actual water usage for all properties connected to the water districts within the town of Carmel. You should know if you reside in a public water district. If you do, you have a meter that meters the water coming into your home. We need to know what those meter readings are in order for us to adequately and accurately bill you for just the water that you have consumed, that you've used. This announcement is for hydrant flushing. There will be hydrant flushing for water districts 2, 3, and 12 by Severn Trent Environmental Services. They will begin on October 3rd. For a schedule of dates for each road, please refer to the Town of Carmel website, homepage, or the Government Access Channel, Comcast Channel 95, or Verizon Channel 24. Consumers may experience the following temporary effects of the flushing: fluctuation in pressure, discoloration of water. Laundry should not be washed during this time. Again, laundry should not be washed during the hydrant flushing. If you have any questions, please contact Severn Trent at 845-228-0460, 845-228-0460. Again, hydrant flushing for Water Districts 2, 3, and 12 on October 12th, 2016. And the concerts, I believe that's it for the concerts, right? No, there's actually one more. Nope. Did we cover them all? The 17th, the 24th, and October 8th. Yep, there's one more concert on October 8th, Amanda Ayala and the Midnight Glory. It's 80s and 90s rock. October 8th down at the Chamber Park, and they're Saturdays from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. So there's one more concert in the park, and that's October 8th for Amanda Ayala and the Midnight Glory. All right, that's all I have for announcements. We do have one executive session item. It's not on the agenda tonight. This was added late. It's to go into executive session with Lieutenant John Dearman from the Carmel Police Department to discuss a contractual item, which council is going to discuss with the board in executive session. So, the parade. Yes, the parade. Very
street
important.
fair.
Yeah. Do you want to cover that, Jonathan? Do you have that information?
Big parade starts at
10:30.
10:30?
Yep, 10.
I'm lining up at 9:15, it starts at
Yeah,
10:30?
you're getting there too early, yeah.
All right.
It's Saturday.
Saturday, right.
It's this Saturday,
10:30, step off, huh?
October 1st,
Okay.
right? And it steps off right from Lake Cassie Road, 6 and Lake Cassie Road. You better check the time, though, John. I could be
I
wrong.
just got a call today, it's
You did?
9:15.
Is it
Down
10
lining
in?
up.
It's
So I'm gonna ask them why we're
So
lining
you-
up an hour and 15.
What time is it,
No.
10:30? 10:30?
Maybe they know I run late,
Yeah,
that's
but
why,
they
right?
heard you run late, yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah, the Columbus Day Parade is this Saturday, starts at 10:30 at Lake Cassie Road, which is up by Exprop Realty. They're actually marching west on Route 6.
Down to
Or
Chamber
some
Park.
people call it south, but it's really west on 6, towards the Chamber Park. And it's going to terminate there. And also on Saturday is the Street Festival. The Chamber of Commerce Street Festival is this Saturday as well. And we have the Fireball Run.
That's being kicked off,
That's
I
being
think,
kicked
first
off
thing.
between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m. The cars are actually leaving at 9 a.m. though. There's a flag that's going to be waved, and the cars are going to leave.
Whole thing benefits missing children.
Missing
Fund, I
children,
believe.
yeah, missing children, exactly right. Yeah,
So if
so
you want
each
to see
is,
some pretty cool cars and start a race,
yeah, we actually have a
Benefit.
local team from Mahopac that entered into the rally, into the Fireball Run rally. I believe it's Johnny Greco from Villa Barone, and I forget the other gentleman's name, I think maybe from Well Done or something, but they have a car entered in it, so it's pretty cool. So they're gonna be going around the whole circuit, the Fireball Run circuit with the other team, and you're right, Jonathan, it is for missing children, so it's a great cause, and,
really good fundraiser.
you know, it's a good fundraiser, and so Friday evening, this is important also, Friday evening, the teams are gonna start arriving with their cars after 2 p.m. So starting at 2 p.m. on Friday, this Friday the 30th, Route 6N is going to be closed from Cherry Lane up to the entrance to Mapac Plaza, where the cars are going to line up. So as the cars come in, they're going to start lining up along that section of Route 6N. So the cars will be on display there, the drivers will be there with their cars, and then everybody's going to be ferried out by boats out to Petrie Island. For the Massaros are hosting the dinner, the reception dinner out there from, I think it's 6:30 to 8:30 or something like that, or 6 to 8 at the island, Massaro's property on the island. So there's a lot going on this weekend, starting Friday evening. The traffic is going to be disrupted on Route 6N for that period of time when the cars are arriving. But ladies and gentlemen, if you follow the variable message boards, give information about the different routes that you could take, and there's going to be police officers at various traffic posts, assisting the traffic during that period of time. So it's a busy weekend in Mahopac, in the town of Carmel, and hopefully everybody comes out and enjoys the parade and the street festival and the Fireball Run. And hopefully the weather is going to cooperate. It doesn't look too promising right now. We may get a little rain, but hopefully that's not the case, or hopefully there'll be some breaks so they can get these events off. All right, so I do need a motion to go into executive session.
So moved.
So moved by Councilman Schneider, seconded by Councilman Lupinacci. All those in favor? Aye. Good night, everyone. We're going to close the meeting from executive session. We'll see you back here on October 5th for a town board voting meeting. Good night. Be well.